So don't forget to follow me on Instagram, High Carb Health. Hit the follow button and click on the green H to see what I get up to. What I eat, what I do, it's all here. You can follow me on what I eat as well. So check it out, guys. Hey guys, welcome to another video. I've got a really exciting person here with us today, Dr. Heleen, and she's going to talk to you about why a whole food plant-based diet is the best for your health and some of the research that she's been doing, and also talking about Doctors for Nutrition, the amazing conference that we just came back from. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I'll post it up and in the description below. So just talk about yourself. Why did you get into whole food plant-based, and what are some of the benefits of plant-based, whole food plant-based?
Nutrition,
Yeah.
yes. Well, thank you so much, Shamise, for having me here and being really treated to a beautiful meal.
Yes.
So spoiled.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No worries. It's a pleasure to cook. Yeah.
Yeah. I am originally a pediatrician, not practicing anymore. I'm from the Netherlands and live in Australia for 18 years now. And it was about 8 years ago, by accident, or I would say, that I heard about plant-based nutrition through an interview of Dr. Ornies and Esselstyn about heart disease, and that you could stop and reverse. And that blew me away. And that was for me the reason to start researching what was known about particularly this. And then I came about that it was also very healthy for other chronic diseases. And the chronic diseases are only increasing in our world, especially in the Western world, which is a huge burden for the person, but also for the family. And not unimportant, also a burden for, the cost of healthcare. And type 2 diabetes, for instance, has been proven in many cases that we can stop and even reverse it. There are certain cancers that do really good on a whole food plant-based diet. So only the number one killer in the Western world, heart disease, if you can stop and reverse that, that would be reason enough, basically, for everyone to adopt that diet. So yeah, I did a lot of research, and then I thought, I need to do something with this. So started to go to conferences in the USA, because the plant-based movement in healthcare, I think, is a little bit further developed over there. And those conferences were magnificent. And I only felt one thing: we need to do this in the Southern Hemisphere as well. So living in Australia, I wanted to bring this to Australia. And I found a partner who was also very passionate about this, but she was organizing events. And a conference is an event, and I didn't know a lot about it. So we teamed up, and that is Lucy Stegley. And Lucy and I became co-founders of a charity, and it's called Doctors for Nutrition. And Doctors for Nutrition, why Doctors for Nutrition? Well, as probably a lot of people will know, that doctors are not really that knowledgeable about nutrition. And they are not to blame, because it's not in their education. It was not in mine, and I just got a daughter finishing med school, was not in hers. I mean, if you learn about nutrition, it's more about the biochemical processes, but not so much about what a whole food plant-based diet can do for your health. And that's missing. People that learn about it through other channels, when they go to their doctor, the doctor often says, yeah, but you need meat and dairy for your health. And that's a roadblock for people to continue on that path, because then they become really insecure. So there is a need to take away that medical hurdle in nutrition, that doctors are going to be educated. And that's why we think Doctors for Nutrition is so important. And it's doctors, and we have also dietitians in the organization, so that we can work together and bring out the very clear message how healthy it is. And we had the conference after so many years, dreaming about bringing this conference to Australia. You talked about it and you were there. We had the conference in Melbourne last weekend. It was 15 to 17 February in 2019. That was last weekend. Yeah, and it was fantastic. We were sold out. We had around 250 people. We had international speakers. Our keynote speaker was Dr. Neil Barnard from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. And the one that also inspired me very much, that is the Plantrition Project with their conference, that is plant-based nutrition in healthcare. Dr. Scott Stoll, he came over as well. So that was very, very exciting. And I think, yeah, the people could learn quite a bit from these speakers. So Doctors for Nutrition is a new charity started last year. It's a half-year old. We are tax deductible. And yeah, if you want to support us to help us educate the medical world and to make change in the nutrition education, make change in what hospitals serve as food, then please go to doctorsfornutrition.org. And you can support us. You can become even a monthly donor if you would like. And for a short period of time, you will become an honorary member of Doctors for Nutrition. So we really would like to promote the fact that without the support of the general public and of people, it's really hard to do what we are doing. And yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, and I can tell you the work that they're doing is just absolutely fantastic. Getting so many amazing doctors together to promote this message, and so happy to be part of this as well, and give our sort of input in that as well, in my story and one of our case studies, which you've obviously seen. Just to finish up, for the viewers out there, what would you suggest in terms of moving on, and when someone is changing their diet, what kind of advice would you give them for that change to a whole food plant-based diet, and how, if someone is suffering, what is the best option for them? Is it to cut down animal products? You know, what would you suggest?
Yeah, there are different people and different ways that people like to do it. First of all, do a little bit of research about what is whole food plant-based nutrition. So the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, PCRM, has a beautiful website. And if you want to do a test drive, they have a free online Kickstart program. And you can enroll every day or any day, and you can do that course. It's 21 days, as often as you like. You get emails, you see videos. It's very enticing, and it's very easy to follow. The beauty of doing it for 21 days straight is that you really can feel what it does to your body, compared to when you change little things. But having said that, for a lot of people, it works to just start replacing certain foods that are animal-based, for instance, milk, dairy milk, with a plant-based milk, soy milk, almond milk. So you can just start slowly replacing certain foods. So it's about gradually getting rid of the animal foods, but then enhancing the amount of plant-based foods you eat, the fruits and the vegetables. And yeah, you will notice, even though you do little steps, a lot of people already say, I can, feel the difference.
Yeah. And you're going to reduce your risk of some of the potentially the worst diseases out there. The number one killer, obviously, being heart disease. And if you can stop that from happening, then why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
Any other last kind of pointers? I mean, my viewers obviously focus on gut health.
Yes.
And I guess any tips for them as in terms of, why is fiber so important for the gut?
Yeah.
Would you like to just say a few words on that?
Yeah, so fiber is only to be found in plant foods. So animal foods have zero fiber. And it becomes more and more clear how important fiber is for our health. It determines the gut health. So the bacteria that live in our gut are very important. And we now know that there are families of bacteria living in our gut. And when you eat very healthy plant-based foods, you will create healthy bacteria in your gut compared to when you eat animal-based foods that we now know are not so healthy for us, and you create more unhealthy bacteria. And that has a direct influence on a lot of diseases. So that's why it's so important to have fiber. So usually when people eat the standard diet, they will maybe have 15 to 20 grams of fiber a day. But on a plant-based diet, at least 40, some have 60 or 80 grams of fiber a day. And that is basically what we want, at least 40 grams of fiber per day. So this is so important for our health. And intestinal problems, many people suffer from indigestion or, abdominal pains, and very often gluten is being the scapegoat. I think in many cases it's probably better to first turn to a healthy plant-based diet, see how you go. If you still have problems, then it's maybe time to say, let's do a trial and cut out gluten. But it's more the unhealthy diet that often causes these abdominal problems and uncomfortable.
And just one last thing, whether it's organic or free range or grass-fed meat, is there any difference between that with cholesterol, with saturated fat? Is it any better for you?
You should say maybe if you compare really wild game with factory farmed animals, I think they have less of the fat probably. But in the end, it is unhealthy for you, or it is a little bit less unhealthy for you. So it's not better. That's not what you can say. So no, there are so many factors that are inherent to animal-based foods. It's a whole list. And if you don't really study it, you are not really aware. It's not only the fat or even the animal protein, what we think is so important, is damaging to our health. Heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cancer, is all related also to animals, specifically animal protein. And also the iron in meat, called heme iron, can be damaging because it's a pro-oxidant, a free radical, compared to the iron in plants that we can absorb to our needs. Our gut can determine if it needs more iron, and it will take more iron out of plants. Or we have enough and it says, no, that's enough. So that's how we then can prevent getting these high levels of iron, because that's also not healthy. So there are a lot of factors, so it does not really matter in the end whether it's organic, factory farmed, wild game.
Well, there you have it. You've heard it here first. And I guess I just want to thank you for coming onto our channel, and really thank you for setting up this Doctors for Nutrition, because we need to get this message out there and let people know that, look, whole food plant-based diets work, and there's so much science behind that. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.
Later.